Hey, what's up everyone? It's Maddie. Welcome back to my channel. So those of you that know me or that have been watching my content for a while know that I've been playing Fortnite since Season 1 of Chapter 1, which is pretty much when the game first came out. So a really big goal of mine throughout my entire Fortnite career has always been to improve at the game. So back in Season 3 of Chapter 1, I posted my best solo game at the time, which was a 17 kill solo win. And then just recently, I posted what I believe is my best solo game to date, which was an 18 kill win. Which, by the way, if you guys haven't seen the video, I have it linked in the description down below. So today, I thought it would be really fun to compare my best solo game from Chapter 1 to my best solo game in Chapter 2 and go over all of the things that I've improved on, as well as the way that I address gunfights and everything like that. Just a friendly reminder, if you guys do want to help support me, you can use my creator code Maddynf in the Fortnite item shop. And with that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into the video. So the first thing that I'm going to mention before we actually get into comparing the gunfights is that back in Chapter 1, I think for the entire duration of Chapter 1, I played on an Xbox controller. And I touched on this quite a bit in my video of giving tips from switching to controller to mouse and keyboard. But the reason that I gave up on Xbox controller and decided to switch to mouse and keyboard was that I felt like I hit my max potential and that there really wasn't much room for improvement for me on controller. So like I said, since I always strived to improve at the game, I thought the best course of action for me would be to switch to mouse and keyboard. So you guys notice like the very obvious difference, or the first and most obvious difference between my gameplay in Chapter 1 and my gameplay in Chapter 2 is just the different input methods. So yeah, with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and compare the first kill. We'll go kill by kill and compare to see the differences. I'm gonna skip this to see when I land.
Really good, Jimmy.
I sound like a baby. I actually sound like a baby. Holy, and I had a little face cam. Sorry to keep pausing the videos, but this was back when I didn't have like any type of setup. I think this might have been right when I got a PC or right before I got a PC for the first time. I can't tell if I'm playing on console or on PC. Actually, I was definitely playing on console. So yeah, I was also on console back then. Tilted Towers.
What's up, Andrew? How are you guys?
Rip Tilted Towers. This actually makes me so sad.
No.
Okay, interesting gameplay from me back here in Season 3. Okay, so first kill that I get is on this John Wick at the bottom of this building in Tilted.
Oh my god.
Okay, so first of all, I think something that I can comment on just from this first gunfight is that obviously like building wasn't really a thing as much back in Season 3 of Chapter 1. And so right away, like if I were playing this gunfight now, I definitely would have obviously built a lot more. And something that I've been working on a lot recently is piece control. So I think what I probably would have tried to do against this John Wick, if this was in the current times, is that I would try to like block him off since he was running, and then I would just put an end to that gunfight a lot quicker. Because otherwise he could have grabbed a gun, like there's a pistol laying here, and I think I kind of just like gave him an opportunity to run away, like way too much that he actually could have killed me. So yeah, now we're gonna go ahead and look at our first kill in the most recent game. So nice, and like, I don't know. The whole stream is just so much fun. So something that I noticed as well, just from comparing like the first two gunfights, is that my movement, like believe it or not, is just like so much better on mouse and keyboard, which is weird because it's kind of like a known thing that movement is typically better when you play on controller because it's just a lot easier, you know? You can't really run diagonally on mouse and keyboard, and so you would think that I would have better movement on controller, but I think actually since I've been putting in so much time and so much work, my movement is actually so much better on mouse and keyboard. So that's just something that I noticed right off the bat.
I hear good chest. Let's go, baby.
Also, another little difference is just the fact that I farm a lot more. Like you notice in the first gunfight, I kind of just grabbed a gun and then booked it trying to kill that guy. Whereas here, I have a much better drop. I'm a lot more like calm and I farm up a lot of mats right away to get prepared for the first gunfight.
Ow! Oh, it's not!
Okay, I'm actually going to skip to the first real gunfight because this is not really a fair comparison because I think a couple of these guys were stream snipers. So let me go ahead and jump to the first, like, actual gunfight for some comparison. he gets. Oh my, wait, that's not a nice stream sniper. That's the one mean. He's gonna jump here to the left. Did I cone him? Oh, I'm not even in here. What is happening? I'm so lost right now. Okay, I guess I don't need that. Okay, so again, like a really obvious difference between these very first two gunfights is number one, just like a big difference in the game in general. You know, building wasn't as prevalent back in chapter 1, but also just the way that I addressed this gunfight, you know, and instead of like building a 1x1 or like just chasing somebody while neither of us are building, both of us ramped up. And then, like I mentioned earlier in the video, I've also been working a lot on my piece control. So yeah, this gunfight wasn't crazy, but you can kind of get a glimpse at like the improvements that I've made to my building and my editing, as well as, like I said, just like my movement in general. So now we'll go back to the first video, the first game, and we're gonna look at our second kill here. You're gonna see my movement is so terrible. Like, I just really wasn't comfortable on controller, and so even when you see me trying to place a trap, I just really struggle back here. So I ramp up, I grab this spike trap, and I place it because I think this guy's in this building. And it's just like very, very awkward and very uncomfortable for me back when I played on controller.
Oh, revolvers, yay.
Another thing is, you notice I'm not really farming up mats. Like, the way that I play out the game is just entirely different now in chapter 2. Holy, it also looks like I had motion blur on. This is kind of making me dizzy.
Tilted. I didn't know how that first one wasn't a headshot, but...
Okay, so again, there's not really much I can comment on that second kill. I mean, I probably would have done the same thing if I saw someone just standing in a building. So yeah, let's go ahead and watch the third.
A headshot for 23.
Okay, so again, I think like the main difference that you'll see in this gunfight versus a gunfight in chapter 2 is just the fact that nobody really builds back then. You can't really comment on like anything in particular, like specific skills that I picked up recently, because back here, like, we didn't even build, you know. So I guess like you can see a little bit of building in this first gunfight that I got in. I was really struggling to place ramps. I think this might have actually been before they added Builder Pro to the game. So I was using Combat Pro, yep, and using LB and RB to swap between my builds, which was really difficult. So here I'm kind of boxed up. You definitely see me play a lot more aggressive, I'd say, in chapter 2. Here I'm taking a bit of a more like passive approach. I kind of box up and take like a pretty safe shot at this guy with my pump. I don't know why I'm using my pump from that far away. And I hit him for 5, and then he runs, and I think I wasn't really sure where he went, so I just run into the building as well. Whereas like if you go and look at the next kill in my most recent video, you'll see that I play these gunfights a lot more aggressive. And like I said, I've been using piece control in my favor, so that I can end gunfights a lot quicker rather than just chasing people endlessly. So here you can see I take shots at this guy, and then I immediately start like ramping up. Come here, boy. Or actually, never mind. It looks like I'm trying to box fight this guy since I have a spaz. And then here I place a wall, and I edit on him so he can't place this wall, and I get a really good pump shot there. And then I place a ramp here because I thought he might be in this box. I was going to place a ramp and then a wall. Again, like I said, I've really been trying hard to work on my piece control. And then here I see him like running away, so I'm trying to get these walls, again, utilizing piece control, so that I can box him up and then end the gunfight quicker. So that's why I'm like placing those walls and editing them, because I thought he was going to be like sitting in one of these boxes, and then I would be able to place the first wall, edit it, place a cone, and then put walls around him so that he wouldn't be able to get out of the box. And like I said, I could end the gunfight a lot quicker. So then this is pretty easy. He ends up boogie bombing himself, so
that stinks. He boogie bombed himself.
I get a free kill on that guy. And let's go ahead to the old video. Okay, so here, this is interesting. I like when I actually build. It's interesting to compare like build fights from season 3 to like season 4 of chapter 2. So season 3 of chapter 1 to season 4 of chapter 2. Okay, so here's someone shooting at me, and again, I play these gunfights like very passively. So I box up so I have cover, and then I decided to start taking shots at this guy. Whoa, that was crazy. That was back when
Ooh, melted.
That's back when ARs were lasers and I had that
One
aim
burst to the
assist.
skull.
Okay, let's go ahead and look at the next gunfight from this video.
That's right. I'm lagging, guys.
Oh my gosh, lag. You couldn't even see what my ping was either. I didn't have that setting on. I don't even know if that setting exists on console, actually. Holy, also you can see here, this is one of the main reasons why I wanted to switch from controller to mouse and keyboard, because my movement was just so flicky. I don't know how else to explain it besides like flicky. It just wasn't smooth whatsoever. I would try to look around and I'd make like quick flicks to the analog stick. And you can kind of see that, especially when I build, I just like couldn't build properly. I was kind of limited because I played on a regular grip rather than claw, and then I also didn't have like optimal keybinds. And so with everything combined, I just felt so uncomfortable on controller, and you can really see that in this video. Okay, so here again, another little thing to point out is just like I typically don't do that as much in Chapter 2. I'm kind of just like assuming that nobody's gonna shoot at me. I'm just kind of like standing on tilted trying to figure out how to address this gunfight. Whereas in Chapter 2, I feel like if I did that, I would definitely get shot at or sniped or something. Okay, so here it looks like I'm dropping down. I hear somebody in this building. Oh my gosh, my alerts were so loud. So as you can see, like again in this gunfight, I just play these gunfights very passively. I'm trying to hear where he is, and I'm not really pushing into the building at all. You can tell I play a lot more scared and not as confident back in Chapter 1.
Oh my god, a headshot again!
So yeah, I heard him run into that room. Again, I was playing super passively. I ran up behind him hoping that I could get the kill, and then I secured that kill pretty easily. But again, no really building involved in that, and again, a very, very passive play style. Okay, now back to the new video. Let's go to the next kill. So here's another thing. I mean, you obviously couldn't do this in Chapter 1, but I've definitely been picking up on just like little, I don't even know what you would call them, but little things in the game that help like this, like utilizing shockwaves and bouncers so that you can rotate a lot quicker. So here you see guy, and immediately, like you can already see, I'm just so much more confident going into this gunfight, and that's like definitely mainly due to the fact that I play in mouse and keyboard now, and I just feel way more confident in myself. So here, I tried to box him, and I thought I'd be able to get him in this box and then rotate my ramp, and I almost did, but then he got this wall here, so I was blocked off. So then I go up, and again, I cone him. I place a floor and a cone here, thinking that he's in this box. And then there, I had that wall there again. So it's not like amazing piece control, but like I said, it's just like little things I've been working on here and there. So I was able to edit that wall since it was mine, and then I got a pretty good pump shot on him. I'm pretty sure I just cracked his shield right there. And then here, I get the wall before he can place this, and I edit it. And then I get the quick kill right there, which again, it's not amazing piece control, but it's definitely really good improvement for me. Little things, little improvements here and there. So again, since I'm so much more confident, I have a more aggressive play style. As you can see, my builds and my edits are so much smoother. And like I said, I've been working on piece control. I'm able to end this gunfight so much quicker.
Holy people.
Okay, so back to the next video. Okay, in all fairness, I think my builds being this bad back in Season 3, I want to say this was before they added turbo building. So I'm pretty sure you had to click like twice, I want to say, to place each build. Which, it definitely wasn't easy, you know? Like, I think you see some clips of, like, Myth being really good at building back then. But obviously everybody wasn't that good, and this is something that I really struggled with. So, again, very passive. I immediately resort to, like, boxing myself up to make sure I'm safe. And this guy's just running around. He's not really building at all. I get some free shots on him. A lot of free shots. What? And some missed shots.
I took off my full shield, guys. I'm mad.
Okay, so then not really much to comment on there besides, again, like, very passive play style. Oh, here's another one. So this is something just, like, simple that you can do that I would never do in pretty much all of Chapter 1. Like, and even though the game that I'm comparing this game to was back in Season 3 of Chapter 1, I didn't even pick up these techniques until recently in Chapter 2. But this is just something very small. So as you can see, this guy's ramping up. You can see my coldy's really bad. I'm sorry. This game was actually clipped from my stream, and you guys know my internet is terrible, so the quality is not the best. But this guy's ramping up, and before he can get up here, I place a floor and a cone on his head, so that I'm able to edit down, and then I hit him in the head for 99. And then this was kind of scary. I was a little bit too slow with the edits, and so it was a little bit predictable, and this guy almost killed me. I got down to 20 health. But just little things like that. Since I got the floor and the cone on his head, piece control, I was then able to edit down on him and then end that gunfight pretty quickly, similar to the last one.
Oh boy, what the heck? Jeez.
Holy pump. The pump is so weird listening to the pump back from season 3. But again, not to be super repetitive, but pretty passive play style. I immediately always like box up when someone starts shooting at me, and then I like adjust the gunfight from there, like see how I can kill the person from there. Whereas like now when someone shoots at me, I start like aggressively pushing towards them rather than like boxing up, taking a minute and like waiting for them to push me. Okay, so here again you see me bouncer shockwaving just so I can get to this gunfight quicker, since I was really determined to get a high kill game this game. I hear 2 guys fighting in here. So there, I was kind of just spraying. Not really anything crazy there. I just like snuck up on him, got a good pump shot, and then I knew he was super weak, so I was trying to just spray through the build so that I could kill him. And then here, I figured this guy was gonna do this, so I placed the floor here before he could, so that he couldn't place the floor and block me off. Then I had it edited, and I hit him for 176 right there. And then I take his wall, and he tries to back up so that he can heal. And I chase him. I was gonna place a wall there, but he got it first. But I take it pretty quick, even though I think I'm playing on like 50 ping here. So again, nothing really to comment on here besides my edits and builds are just so much smoother. Like you just see how much more confidently I approach this gunfight. I take his wall like pretty effortlessly. And then since I'm much better editing now, I make like one quick edit and then he's dead since I got that good hard hitting pump shot on him in the beginning of the gunfight. There's another guy coming. He got this floor, so I was kind of scared, so I placed a cone as quick as I could.
Dude.
And then I placed this floor because I knew he was going to try to take this cone, and I didn't want him to be able to edit down and me not have any control in the gunfight. Because also none of these builds around me are mine either, I'm pretty sure. So I decided, like, even though there's loot here, and someone in the video actually commented that I missed a gold scar, here I'm basically just trying to get out of this building and reposition so that I have a better chance at winning the gunfight. Because back in there, I didn't own any of the builds, and like I said, he already grabbed the floor, and that really just wasn't a great spot to be in. As well as because Storm was coming in, obviously. So here, this is not really good for me, because I killed 12 people, but I only have 200 builds here. And so I'm in a really, really sticky situation here. But before we get into that, I'm gonna go back and look at the next kill in the chapter 1 video.
Through the wall again.
Okay, so yeah, again here, again, not too much to comment on. Pretty simple. I just place a wall and a ramp so that I can get a better angle at him. I didn't really have much building or editing skill back then, so it's pretty simple, just builds or walls and ramps to protect myself, just so I can kind of get a better angle, and then just go for the shotgun shot. That being said, we'll get back to this game. So here, I'm just trying to heal up so that I can push this guy that's shooting at me. And again, another thing that I got a lot better at, which I really struggled with this, I actually couldn't do it at all in Chapter 10 when I played on controller, is that I couldn't really tunnel at all to protect myself while pushing somebody. So here you can see I don't take any damage while I'm like actively pushing this guy, because I protect myself with builds. I've learned like a few different tunneling techniques. I can also double edit now, which I couldn't do back when I played on controller. And so you can see that's like huge because I can push gunfights and I can be aggressive and I can avoid taking damage while doing so. So here, again, like I think this is a pretty good example of like piece control. I thought this guy was in this box, and so I placed a floor and a cone so that I would have like control over the gunfight. And then I actually had a pretty good shot there. That only hit for 33, but again, I feel like this game is like a perfect example of how much my mechanics have improved in Fortnite. So here it's rough. I get the cone. I was going to try to take his floor, not really realizing that I hardly had any mats left. And I actually got it. So I would have this kill pretty easy because I already cracked a shield. I had the cone and the floor. So he's pretty much trapped in this box and he would have had to exit out like a different wall that he owned. But I start getting shot at and then I'm in a really, really tough situation here because I don't have any mats.
Oh, no mats.
So I actually played this pretty well, I think. I drop down and heal up as quick as I can where I can't be seen by any enemies. And then I try to push this guy because I know he's weak. And so he edits out, and then I hit him for 132. So that was huge because then I got his mats. It wasn't a ton, but I got like 300 metal from him as well as some other stuff. Okay, so with that being said, I think we've pretty much addressed everything that I've improved on. And I don't want to be too repetitive, so I'm going to go ahead and compare the very last gunfight from each game. Okay, so first we'll start with the Chapter 1 game. So I will comment, it's actually pretty easy. It was pretty easy to win games back in like early Chapter 1. Especially if you had like this type of loadout. When it's a 1v1 situation and you have an RPG with 46 rockets, it's kind of like game over, which you guys will see here. I'm pretty sure I remember how this gunfight ended. So I was gonna go for the snipe. I see he's just like based up, so I decided to RPG him. Again, I've got 46 rockets, so... I was actually so excited. Holy. Yeah, as you can see, I mean, granted, to give myself credit, the game was very different back then, and this was kind of like the standard of gameplay. There's obviously players that were much better than I am, but I'd say this was pretty much the norm for back then. Not really too much skill involved there. I just tried to like base up, play it smart, use my RPGs. I definitely could have gotten sniped there or something, so I did put myself like at risk of losing the game, but you know, it was a good game, and I was so happy. That was the best game that I had back in Chapter 1. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and look at my last kill in the Chapter 2 game. So here, it's already way different. You know, there's no more just like sitting back in your base and RPGing people. You have to like actively push, use builds, use edits. It's just a really different game now in Chapter 2. So here, again, already working on my piece control. I thought maybe he was in this box, so I placed the floor and the cone, and then I did a double edit, and then I placed this wall here too. And I edited out, and this was actually going to be really clean. If he was in this box... Sometimes like the audio is not the best and you can't really hear it clearly, but I thought he's in that box, so that would have actually been a pretty clean play. So yeah, I drop down, I try to take his wall, I get his wall, make the edit, place the wall here. I actually have some pretty good piece control in this gunfight, I'm not gonna lie. Again, it's not amazing, it's not amazing, don't give me a hard time, guys. But like I said, this is something that I've been working on a lot, so it's nice to see just little improvements here and there. So again, there I placed the wall because I thought he was going to go up through his floor and his cone, and so I would have the wall in that box that he was going to go up into, but he didn't. He went down. So I'm in his box here. I placed the wall just a little bit too late, so he gets out. I'm trying to chase him. I get the wall here and there, but he goes up. So then I side jump, and I go up, but he's still cranking. And I try to jump on that cone, and when I realized that he was just going to keep cranking without even taking shots at me, I decided to just take a bouncer to get a free shot at him. So I use the bouncer and then I get him. So although like the piece control that I was like showing or demonstrating in that video didn't lead to me actually getting the kill, I think it was a good example of just like the little improvements that I made here and there and how that like could have led me to get like a really clean kill, and also like put an end to gunfights quicker without someone just running endlessly and boxing up. Yeah, so that's gonna be it for this video, guys. If you're interested in seeing the entire solo game from either Chapter 1 or Chapter 2, I'll have both of them linked in the description down below so you can check them out. And with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, I would appreciate it if you could leave a like and subscribe if you're new here to my channel. And with that being said, I'll see you guys all in the next video. Goodbye, guys!